Welcome back to Bookcast Bestsellers in Minutes.
Mm-hmm.
Today we're going to do a deep dive into a life story that's pure glitter and grit.
Yes.
Cher's memoir, Cher,
Yeah.
Part 1.
Part 1.
This first volume takes us through 1979.
Okay.
And let me tell you, it is a wild ride.
Yeah, it's an amazing read.
It is. It's incredible.
It's a front row seat to not just her personal journey,
Right.
but also to music history, Hollywood's inner workings, and just a woman defying every expectation thrown her way.
Absolutely, yeah.
It's really something.
So the book starts with Cher's childhood.
Okay.
And it was far from a fairy tale. She was placed in a nun's care as a baby because her mom couldn't make ends meet.
Right.
I mean, that must have been incredibly tough.
Imagine the impact of that early separation.
Right.
I mean, you were reading about how it instilled this deep fear of abandonment.
Yes.
Cher.
Right.
And you see this pattern emerge later in life, almost like she always had to leave before being left.
Yes, exactly.
It's really fascinating.
It's heartbreaking, really. And then there's her mom, Georgia Holt.
Georgia, yes.
She had her own struggles growing up.
Yeah.
And even faced the dreaded casting couch in Hollywood.
It's a cycle of hardship, isn't it?
Yeah.
And Georgia passing down this idea of marry rich to Cher. Well, knowing Cher's independent spirit, that probably didn't go over too well.
Right. But even with all this instability,
Yeah.
Cher had this spark, this larger-than-life personality.
Oh, absolutely.
You mentioned her memorizing Shakespeare at 4 and creating imaginary worlds.
Mm-hmm.
Was that her way of coping, do you think?
It's possible, yeah.
Yeah.
Creating stability and control where she lacked it.
Yeah.
And remember, all this while struggling with undiagnosed dyslexia.
Oh, right.
School must have been a nightmare.
Yeah, I can't even imagine.
Yeah.
So then comes Sonny.
16 years, her senior.
Yeah.
And already in the music industry.
Right away, there's this mentorship dynamic, but also a clear power imbalance.
Absolutely, yeah.
So he taught her to read, which is incredible.
Which is pretty amazing.
But he also exerted control over her image and finances. That complexity is woven throughout their relationship.
Yeah, the relationship is so fascinating.
It is.
And as we'll see, those entanglements eventually become a source of conflict.
Right.
But their early days in music are such a roller coaster.
Yeah.
I mean, you were reading about how they got signed to Reprise Records.
Yeah.
Purely by chance.
Totally by chance.
The label head mistook them for another act.
What? That's wild.
Crazy, right?
Talk about being in the right place at the right time.
Right. But then they had to break through during Beatlemania.
Oh, man.
It forced Sonny to adapt.
Wow.
To blend their folk sound with a pop element to create something fresh.
I got you, babe.
Yeah.
Becomes their ticket to stardom.
Yes.
But that success came with its own set of challenges.
Oh, of course.
Like balancing a demanding career with motherhood. I mean, their son, Chas, was practically raised on the road.
And you see Cher pushing back against Sonny's control over her image, too.
Yes.
She wanted to evolve, but he had a very fixed idea of their duo.
Right.
And this tension is palpable in the book.
Yeah, and then there's Sonny's personality.
Oh, yeah.
Remember the benevolent army of El Primo with all the ranks and the jackets?
I mean, it's kind of fun and quirky on one hand.
It's so strange.
But on the other hand, it speaks to his need for control.
Absolutely.
Do you think that playfulness masked something deeper?
It's hard to say.
Yeah.
But even with their comedy hour being a hit,
right?
You start to see cracks in their partnership.
Yeah.
Cher's frustration grows, and her desire for independence clashes with their carefully constructed public image.
Yeah, it's classic, right?
Yeah.
The personal bleeding into the professional.
And this is where the memoir gets really raw.
Gets real.
Their relationship ultimately breaks down.
Yeah.
And Cher makes the difficult decision to leave, walking away from everything they built together.
What a bold move.
Yeah.
And it speaks to her courage
Mm-hmm.
and her growing need to define herself on her own terms.
Right, but it's not an easy transition.
No.
I mean, she's navigating fame.
Right.
While trying to rebuild her life.
Yeah.
She has a brief relationship with Bill and then meets David Geffen.
David Geffen.
Who becomes a pivotal figure.
Pivotal. He saw her potential as a solo artist.
Right.
Something Sonny had always downplayed.
Wow.
He helps her navigate the industry and find her footing.
So this is where his solo career takes off, defying everyone's expectations.
Incredible.
Remember, she's raising 2 kids, dealing with the fallout of her divorce.
It's remarkable how she handles it all.
It really is.
And this is where that resilience you were talking about really shines through. And through these struggles, she starts crafting that iconic, fearless persona we all know and love.
Yes, totally.
It's amazing.
We've covered a lot of ground here.
We have.
A difficult childhood, a complex relationship with Sonny,
Yeah.
and the start of her solo career, all this before she even turns 40.
It's a testament to her ability to overcome adversity.
Yes.
She didn't let a controlling partner or societal expectations define her.
But what's striking is how her unconventional childhood seems to have shaped her.
Oh, absolutely.
Those early experiences with poverty, abandonment, and witnessing her mother's struggles.
It's almost like they fueled her drive and determination.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know, it's interesting how the memoir jumps between these intimate details, her personal life, and then throws you right back into the whirlwind of her career.
Totally, yeah.
One minute she's fighting for custody of Chaz.
Yeah.
The next she's performing on stage with Sonny again.
It's like whiplash.
I know, right?
They could be at each other's throats legally, but still create this incredible chemistry in front of an audience.
Yeah, for sure.
It really speaks to the complexities of their relationship.
Definitely. Yeah.
So their personal lives were definitely messy.
Oh, yeah.
Sonny moved on with his assistant, Connie.
Connie, right?
And you were reading about how Cher's love life was just as complicated.
Oh, yeah.
She opens up about her marriage to Greg Allman and all the drama that came with it.
Drug addiction, infidelity.
It's a reminder that fame doesn't shield you from the darker sides of life.
No, not at all.
And remember, this is the 70s.
Right.
A time of huge social and cultural change.
Absolutely.
Cher was right in the middle of it, pushing boundaries with her fashion, her music, and her relationships.
She really challenged the norms of what a woman, especially a woman in entertainment, was supposed to be. What did you think about that part of the book?
I thought it was so inspiring, but also heartbreaking.
Yeah.
She talks about facing prejudice
Right.
and even violence
Wow.
because of her choices.
It couldn't have been easy.
No, not at all.
And she's incredibly candid
Yeah.
about the emotional toll it took. The loneliness, the self-doubt.
All of it.
It's a reminder that even behind a seemingly glamorous life, there's real vulnerability.
Yeah, for sure.
But she never gives up.
No.
She throws herself into her work.
She does.
Even hosting her own variety show, Cher.
Which is a huge accomplishment.
Huge.
She's a solo artist, a TV personality, a fashion icon.
I know, right?
It's like she's constantly defying the odds.
She is.
And through it all, she's raising 2 children.
2 kids, wow.
She talks about her close bond with Chaz.
Yeah.
And the joys and challenges of motherhood in the midst of this crazy life.
There's that sweet anecdote about Chaz
Oh, yeah?
being mesmerized by Gene Simmons from Kiss.
I love that part.
It shows how, despite the drama,
Right.
Cher was determined to give her children a sense of normalcy.
Yeah, I mean, it's like she sees a bit of Sonny in Gene Simmons,
Oh, interesting.
this larger-than-life performer.
Yeah, yeah.
Do you think that played a role in her letting Chaz get close to him?
Perhaps. Yeah, it's possible. But it's also a testament to her ability to separate her personal feelings from her children's well-being.
Right. And she's honest about her own shortcomings as a mother.
Oh, yeah.
The guilt of touring, the fear of not being there enough.
It's something many working parents can relate to.
Totally.
That constant pull between pursuing your dreams
Right.
and being present for your family.
Yeah. And she finds her own way,
Yeah.
bringing Chaz and Elijah on tour,
Uh-huh.
exposing them to that creative world.
It's almost like her upbringing
Yeah.
being raised around show business.
Right.
But this time, she's in control.
Exactly. And she's learning to navigate her relationship with Sonny post-divorce.
It's tricky.
They still have that creative spark,
Yeah.
but they're also co-parenting,
Oh, right.
which brings a whole new set of challenges.
Naturally.
You're reading about how they made a pact to never speak badly about each other in front of Chaz,
Oh, wow.
which is admirable,
It is.
putting their daughter's well-being first.
It's realistic, too.
Yeah.
Divorce is rarely a clean break.
Right.
There's baggage, there's history.
It's true.
It takes time to find a new equilibrium.
So amidst all of this,
Yeah.
Cher's career keeps evolving.
It does.
She's pushing musical boundaries,
Mhm.
experimenting with different genres,
Right.
collaborating with legendary producers.
She's not afraid to take risks,
Nah,
even if it means failing.
like that disastrous first date with Greg Allman.
Oh, yeah.
She calls him out for his cheesy pickup lines,
Uh-huh.
his arrogance.
She walks away. She does. It's a stark contrast to her earlier relationships where she often felt trapped or obligated to stay.
Yeah.
She's finding her voice, both literally and figuratively.
And that newfound confidence spills over into her personal life.
Yeah.
She sets boundaries, demands respect, and refuses to settle for less.
Good for her.
Then there's that whole debacle with her variety show, Cher.
Oh, right, Cher, yeah.
Remember what happened?
Of course, the Sonny and Cher Comedy Hour was replaced for the summer by Joey and Dad. And when Cher came back in the fall, her ratings were terrible.
They were. The audience had moved on to watch The $6 Million Man.
Oh, wow.
And Cher was canceled soon after.
Oof.
It's amazing how she was able to bounce back from that.
It is, instead of fading into obscurity, she reinvented herself.
She did.
She doubled down on her solo career, embraced her unique style, and ultimately became even bigger than she ever was with Sonny.
This part of the memoir ends with her embarking on her first solo tour.
Wow.
Facing her fears and proving to the world, and maybe even to herself, that she can stand on her own 2 feet.
Powerful.
What a powerful moment.
It is. She's no longer Sonny's sidekick,
Right.
or the female half of a duo.
Right.
She's the force of nature, ready to conquer the world on her own terms.
It's incredible to see how she took all that chaos and challenges she faced and turned them into fuel for her fire.
Really inspiring.
To see someone break free from expectations, embrace their individuality, and to find success on their own terms.
Absolutely.
It really makes you realize you don't have to follow a conventional path to achieve extraordinary things.
Sometimes the detours and unexpected turns lead you to exactly where you're meant to be.
It's like her mom's advice.
Yeah.
You're going to be somebody. But she had to figure out who that somebody was on her own.
And that journey of self-discovery is what makes this memoir so compelling.
Right.
It's not just a list of events.
No.
It's a glimpse into the evolution of a woman who dared to be different.
Well, it definitely leaves you wanting more.
I know, right.
Ending in 1979,
Right.
right as her solo career is taking off, it feels like a cliffhanger.
There's a whole second part to her memoir that picks up from there.
Oh, really?
Covering her later career, relationships, activism, and so much more.
Wow, so much left to explore. But for now, we've journeyed through Cher Part 1 on Bookcast, Bestsellers in Minutes.
Thanks for joining us on this deep dive into Cher's incredible life. We'll see you next time for another bestseller breakdown.